So far this year, investment into manufacturing in the US has stalled significantly because primarily of the Trump administration's attacks on renewable energy. Now, yet another massive investment has been basically hijacked by bizarre Trump administration policies that don't really make much sense. I mean, in this instance, Hyundai were building one of the biggest battery factories, and they were building one of the biggest EV battery plants in the US. Yeah, massive multi-billion-dollar investment. The US comes in, arrests all the people building this place, and obviously plenty of them were from South Korea, but what would you expect? And now this factory has been paused. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Construction on Hyundai's electric vehicle battery site that was raided by ICE last week is, well, it's been halted, unfortunately. Hyundai is delaying work at the EV battery plant as the detained workers are going to fly home. During an interview on Thursday, Hyundai CEO Jose Munoz announced the site will be delayed by at least a few months following the raid. This is going to give us minimum 2 to 3 month delay because there are now all these people who want to go home, said the CEO. Hyundai needs to fill the positions, and as Munoz explained, for the most part, these people are not in the United States. He's saying people in the United States don't have the training that they need. The sudden announcement comes after federal agents raided the battery plant site on the 4th of September, detaining 475 workers. And I mean, detaining them means basically putting them in lockup. Hyundai co-owns the plant with LG Energy Solutions, which is set to supply batteries to its nearby production site, the Hyundai Motor Group Meta Plant America, which is called HMG MA. Although a charter plane is waiting in Atlanta to fly the workers home, the raid is already sparking some backlash. South Korean ministry spokesperson Lee Jae-woong warned that the economic activities of our companies investing in the United States and the rights and interests of our nationals must not be unfairly violated.
I heard about it yesterday. At the same time, ICE was doing right because they were here illegally. But we do have to work something out where we bring in experts so that our people can be trained so that they can do it themselves. Does that make sense? Right?
Is it straining the relationship with Korea at all?
No, we have a great relationship with South Korea.
I kind of agree. I think the administration's just pointlessly gone after these people. These guys aren't here. Yeah, they're not here to try and permanently live in the United States. They're here to build a freaking factory. I mean, goodness me, this is the dumbest stuff I've ever seen. It feels like, honestly, South Park. It feels like I'm watching an episode of South Park. The raid occurred just days after South Korean President Lee Jae-woong met with the President Trump at the White House, pledging to invest another $150 billion in the United States, including a new EV battery plant, right? The president comes to the US, says, we've got to invest another $150 billion. And then the next day, the Trump administration turns up at this factory and shuts the freaking thing down. I mean, honestly, it just sounds like Trump, his big thing, right? Even if you're a Trump fan, you've got to admit his big thing is he says economic prosperity for Americans, manufacturing for Americans, yeah? He says this stuff over and over. This is going to create prosperity for Americans. We're going to make things built in America again. South Korea comes and goes, yeah, cool, we're doing that. And they are. They've invested more than $100 billion in all these commitments over the last probably 18 months into new battery plants, car factories, etc. in the US, comes says, well, we're going to invest another $150 billion. Then the Trump administration goes out the next day and arrests all of its employees at this new plant. I mean, these guys are not going to work there for 20 years. They hadn't been there doing that, right? They're just basically setting up this new factory. Anyway, after videos and images showed the detained workers being shackled, I mean, why did they shackle them? It sounds like a war or something. Anyway, they were shackled and then transferred onto buses and then sent to prison. And the operation fueled outrage among South Koreans, which will have likely bigger economic implications. Anyway, Hyundai and LG's battery plant is one of 20 sites under construction in the United States by a South Korean company. 20 sites. Several LG Energy Solutions construction sites have already been disrupted, while others fear similar crackdowns may follow. ICE, I don't think ICE understands the purpose of what they're meant to be doing. Aren't they meant to be sending people home that have come there to try and live in America? You know, gotten there illegally, crossing the border illegally, committed crimes. I don't think anyone at this factory is got anything to do with any of that. Hyundai currently builds the Ioniq 5 and the larger Ioniq 9 electric SUVs at the production plant, and the site in total spans around 3,000 acres, including the assembly facility, EV battery plants, and various other plants. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with what I've been saying, or do you disagree? Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye-bye. Hyundai have revealed the price for the new Inster, the new very, very affordable Hyundai Inster electric car. Now, $23,000 US. Is this a good price? Or $22,800 US, I should say, to be exact. Well, maybe. Here are the details. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. It's great to see you. Clearly, I'm just going to say this straight up. Clearly, the price is ridiculous in Korea. In South Korea, you can buy a Hyundai or Hyundai Inster EV for $22,800 US in South Korea. But the thing is, it's really nowhere near being price competitive with anything in China. At that price, it's way, way, way too expensive in that region, in that geological region, in that, that area, that country. I mean, go to China. There's no way known anyone in China would pay this for one of these vehicles. Would someone pay that, though, outside of China, outside of South Korea? I think they might. And realistically, this car has received a lot of acclaim. A lot of people in America are saying, guys, bring it here. The only place you're not selling it is America. You're selling these things everywhere else except for America. We want the Inster EV, and at this price, we're willing to pay this kind of money. Do you guys agree? Would you buy one of these for this price? Now, if they were to make these in the US, I think they could probably sell them for a similar price, $23,000 US. It then would qualify for the US $7,500 tax credit, meaning you could potentially get one of these for about $15,000 US. I do think they could have a market if they were to do this. In America, that is. Outside of America, in places such as Australia, though, it's going to be a much harder proposition. The reason I say that, this car is quite a bit smaller than a BYD Dolphin, right? It's another size below the Dolphin. And yeah, I mean, realistically, the Dolphin is a similar price. Now, this equates to around 36,000 Australian dollars. The Dolphin is pretty close to being that price already in Australia, but it has a fair bit more range. Now, the most expensive model of this vehicle only has approximately 221 miles of range. That's 355 kilometers of WLTP range, so 221 miles. But that's for the more expensive model, right?